What's up, everybody? We're back to talk about the Bethesda press conference at E3 2016. So this conference launched with a really sweet intro going into Quake Champions, where they brought up the command prompt and then scrolled through a couple things, like typed in a couple commands. And I liked when it said loading carnage.init. Like, that was a nice little thing, because like most people there won't know what, like, they won't remember what DOS looked like. They won't know what any of that stuff.
It had the Fallout terminal sounds too.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I saw it scroll past a bunch of different folders. I bet you someone's going to screen cap what was in those folders. I bet it was like the rest of the games they were going to show.
I bet it's more for just, you know, it has probably no meaning other than
I'm sure they hid some stuff in there.
Yeah, I'd bet it's stuff. At least for the conference, like if people like were watching it live and then like, just frozen it right there, I bet they could have seen all kinds of sneak preview stuff.
But yeah, Quake Champions.
I'm actually really excited about that, only because they did justice with Doom, it seems.
Which I wouldn't have guessed based on last year. I was not at all excited for Doom.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it would maybe be okay, and it's amazing. So,
and I loved Quake growing up, so let's hope it's pretty decent.
in a pretty unusual move, they threw in some very PC-centric buzzwords for people, like it's going to run at 120 hertz, have a fully unlocked frame rate. Like, that's pretty cool stuff you don't normally talk about from a main conference stage.
Yeah, usually if it's in the game, it's just usually in the game, and it's like they don't talk about it.
But I think they want to make it clear from the start that they're targeting like the really hardcore original Quake audience, because with Doom, a lot of people complain about the multiplayer, saying it was too much like Call of Duty. So I guess they want to get ahead of that. But then they went into, well, that's all we really know about it for now. We're going to see more at QuakeCon in a couple months. Then they talked about some highlights for the past year of Bethesda. Elder Scrolls Online launched exactly 1 year ago, and apparently has done very well.
For the consoles.
For consoles.
Yeah.
We've had about 7 million people have played it total. Fallout Shelter won Game of the Year on mobile from somewhere.
That's cool.
Fallout 4 was one of the industry's biggest launches. They didn't say what metrics that are by, but it was a very good launch. And then Doom released to rave reviews, which is definitely true. So then they hopped into the Elder Scrolls Legends strategy card game.
Yeah,
I don't care about that, but someone in the crowd.
It looks like it looks like a Hearthstone of
everybody who's
Scrolls,
really into Hearthstone
Yeah.
or something. There's probably.
I mean, and I think there's other ones as well.
Also, our stream froze for like a minute and a half during that part, so we missed. It was like CGI intro, and all of a sudden cards are being played. Like,
it looks pretty polished too. So
yeah.
And it's also, well, isn't the card game already out? And they're expanding it? No, it's not out. Okay.
not out yet.
Well, it's coming. I think they said it was already out.
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay, well, it's also coming to mobile devices later this year, along with all the other platforms. Then they wanted to talk about Fallout 4. Todd Howard came on screen and thanked everybody for buying so much Fallout, even though it didn't run very well. And then they announced all the new stuff they're doing for it. There's going to be a new Workshop DLC. With two new Workshop DLCs. Well, I was going to get to that. So there's the Contraptions one, where you have like the Rube Goldberg looking machines.
It's like Mousetrap Fallout Edition.
Yeah, with the little marbles rolling down the stuff. That looked pretty cool. And the Vault Tech Workshop, where you create your own vault and experiment on vault dwellers and stuff. That looked...
That has creation and then like things to do with it too, which is cool.
My favorite part of that was hearing Dave say, "Oh, they've already got a mod for that. Oh, they've already got a mod for it." Oh.
Yeah, because like Workshop DLC is hard for me to get excited about, because there's already mods for almost everything, including creating your own vault. But then having new things to do with that vault, that's exciting.
When they went to that sideways view.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I think you need to
Oh
not
my.
forget that, you know, I mean, mods are awesome, but usually mods take what's already there and just manipulate what's already there.
For sure.
I mean, some people do create assets, but that's actually Bethesda. They can create new assets and sometimes
new stuff's
creative things
always
that no
nice.
modders even think about, because they're just manipulating what's already done.
Yeah.
But with every new thing they
And that's what you say to every single one that's come out. Like, oh, mod's already out. Like, actually, it's pretty nice. I'm glad I have this.
With every new thing they release officially, they can then alter it mod-wise too.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of that cool stuff they're doing is going to be able to go even further with mods.
Yeah, the vault is actually that's a really cool idea, because you know, building your own vault, that's not a new idea, but then building your own actual functioning vault, that's the new idea. That's the cool twist to it.
You're gonna be building settlements. 90 days.
Go to General Dave's vault for security and safety. The door just slams shut.
Can we skip around for a second?
Sure.
Because I feel like this matches the best here.
Okay.
Them announcing Bethesda VR.
Yeah.
Because speaking of Dave building vaults, holy crap. You're gone. I mean,
they announced that originally you'll be able to
run
play
them, though.
Doom and Fallout 4. You'll be able to play in VR at at the conference this week, but they're officially porting Fallout 4 to the Vive in 2017. So that was like the big announcement.
Yeah.
Which is good. I'm hopeful we get more announcements like that at E3. This would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's important for these platforms to succeed that we need stuff to be featured. I kind of wish they would have said Vive and PSVR. Like, let's get support for as many as possible. Screw Oculus. But yeah, that has the potential to be really amazing.
I mean, Dave, I just imagine you doing your building completely immersed, like literally completely immersed.
Or just at least walking around.
At least the tours,
Just
I would totally.
slow walking your town.
You have to lower the graphics though, so you can see it.
That's quite possible.
No, he has to buy a second.
My bad. You're right. You're right.
Joel, no, okay, I loaned him my 980 Ti so he could run an SLI, and he was like, can't max everything out at 1440p, and I was like, there's no way. And he's like, well, I mean, with my distance mods and my lighting mods and all my other mods and my hair
Renders every actual graphic card you can't see.
I said,
world.
Dave, why don't you just turn like one? And by him, not holding 60 means it was like dropping like 56 a couple times. I was like, Dave, why don't you just drop 1 or 2 settings? And he was just like,
I said I wanted it all. I wanted it all.
So
okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, we're good. Then they announced the Nuka World Wasteland Vacation, which appears to be the Nuka-Cola theme park story.
Nuka World,
which is coming.
Really cool.
Vault-Tec Workshop's coming in July. Did they announce when Nuka World is coming? I don't know.
The Vault-Tec,
August.
the other DLC's coming, what, next week?
Next week is the contraptions.
And then Vault-Tec is July. Nuka World is August.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Fallout Shelter's getting an update. New enemies and characters, new combat. It's coming to the PC. Apparently,
That was really
It
surprising.
looks pretty cool. Like, I didn't even play it before.
Looks like I had new camera angles and stuff you can adjust.
I played it for a bit. My biggest problem with it was like the characters are so tiny. It was hard to like get my finger on the phone without zooming in a bunch. It was
I had the
just
same
clunky.
problem. It's not a monster joke.
It was kind of clunky to play.
It's not my favorite kind of game. Like I don't really like those kind of games, but I appreciate the quality and
It was
actually
super
polished.
polished.
It looks like it'll be
be.
pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Moving to the PC and adding some actual like some story
4K
to
Fallout
it.
Shelter, just because you can.
Ultra wide monitor, like triple
Yeah,
surround.
just put a whole bunch of
Shelter.
monitors around. You can watch all your inhabitants at one time, like
It's like an ant farm.
like the architect from the worst Matrix.
Just go ahead and sit down in your bucket, get your hot pockets warming up.
Dave, put that onto one of your settlement TVs and your settlement bills. It just shows that your general is actually watching
would
like
be cool.
the Fallout settlement.
General Dave ignores his actual settlers for his virtual settlers. Like, how much power are you burning running that terminal?
Now
Who
they
are you
were
kidding, Dave? If you had kids right now, you'd be ignoring your real settlers for virtual settlers.
Deep thoughts for Dave.
Now they've been doing a great job of like teasing stuff. Like when they announced the VR thing, I like what the guy said. He's like, "Oh, you didn't expect that, did you?"
I
they
was
were
definitely
really
not
having a good
expecting
time
that at
like
all.
toying with us. So when they teased that there was a special new thing and the Elder Scrolls music started playing, how did you feel about that, Debbie?
Oh my god.
Debbie just screamed. It took her like 2 seconds to stare at the screen. She was like, "Wait." And they showed off the Skyrim Special Edition. They didn't call it Skyrim Remastered or anything. Skyrim Special Edition is going to be coming to the PS4, presumably Xbox One as well. But
Yeah. Oh yeah. It showed up.
it
they showed that, okay,
And PC.
and PC. Did they say when? I don't think they said when. It seems like an
don't
obvious.
remember.
I don't think so.
It seems like an obvious holiday game, but you think they would have announced
Yeah.
a month if they were doing that. But they're really, it's just kind of giving it the mod overhaul where all the fancy lighting and the better textures and the better
and
flora
adding
and fauna.
mod support.
Yeah, adding mod support. So
That's a big one for sure.
for
Skyrim.
Xbox One. So that's pretty cool, and that should be exciting for people who enjoyed Skyrim. Then they brought a guy out from Arcane Studios to talk about a new psychological thriller that they were going to be working on, or they've been working on, and were ready to show
They
out to
called
everybody.
it a new psychological thriller.
They did, and then they showed off this kind of Groundhog Day-esque thing that quickly turned into a horror shooter, and said that it is now Prey. So we've had one game called Prey, and then they canceled Prey 2, and now the sequel is also called Prey. Is that? I mean, I'm not
Please,
trying to-
please stop.
I mean, we had an Xbox, and then we had an Xbox One later on.
I can't wait to see what they call the new version of the Xbox One.
Xbox 1.5.
Xbox
We also had
One
Bell-
2 Punch.
That's coming out in 2017, so that's pretty cool.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that did. That looked really interesting.
It did.
A lot of people were excited about seeing 2, and then all the things said, no, it's canceled. It's not going to show up. So for them to then kind of sneak in the name at the end, it was like, okay, now that makes sense based on playing the first one.
It's kind of interesting. I think they're showing off more shooters and like more horror-esque stuff than anyone else. Like, it's pretty impressive. But then they went into Doom, and they talked about how Doom, it sounds like it blew away everyone's expectations when it released on how well it was going to sell and how well it was going to review. But they are bringing free updates to Doom Snap Maps. They said all the updates for Snap Maps will always be free. There's new modules, themes, props, different modes you can do, stuff like that.
Single-player levels you can build.
Single-player levels you can build. So that pretty much means that's like a creation kit almost for Doom to make whatever you want. So that's pretty exciting. There'll be 2 new multiplayer modes in July, and there'll be 3 new multiplayer maps coming into DLC with a new gun and a new enemy to play as.
And some new powers, too.
Yeah. And then the first level of Doom is now free, starting by the time you hear this. You can go download the first level on any major platform and play through it to see if you like it.
That's really cool, because I'm going to do that to see if I enjoy it, if it's something that
And we've talked about this on the podcast, how they just don't do demos anymore. So I think it's cool that they...
Yeah, it's cool they called it shareware, too.
Yeah.
Then we spent a while talking about the Elder Scrolls Online. Apparently 7 million people have played it. It'll be launching in Japan on June 23rd. And then they started talking about the Dark Brotherhood DLC, which is launching Tuesday, but it sounded like PC players have already been playing the Dark Brotherhood DLC. We don't.
You
don't really follow.
I've been hearing like previews for that DLC for quite a while, so I don't know.
Is that something you might think you might get back into realistically?
Honestly, like I really enjoyed it, but it's like I wish I had more people that was playing with it. Honestly, yeah, because it's a lot of fun. What? Well, consistently, like
I just bought it on PC
download
not
stuff
too
and
long
you'll
ago.
play it for like a day or two, and
Yeah,
then
I've
download
only put like 30 some hours.
But he'll keep it. But he'll keep it installed, and he'll be like, "Well, I haven't played that today, so gone." Then they announced one Tamriel, which has no level restrictions, and enemies scale to your level. Apparently, there were restrictions before; you couldn't group up with anybody in the world.
Yeah, I think because when John and I played, I think he had to do a couple early missions or something like that to get to a certain level, and then we could join. So I think now they're just allowing join right off the bat.
They would do
which
that
is
with
great.
Division.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Maybe Ubisoft will have. They better talk about something Division related tomorrow at Ubisoft's conference. But anyway,
they're probably gonna talk about the underground.
Probably. But I really liked when they announced one Tamriel. There was someone sitting near one of the mics that just went, "What?" Like during this whole conference, they had people within range of the crowd mics. Like the one girl.
Hell no!
One girl was just like, "Woo!" every time they announced anything. Like there's a lot of really excited people. It was cool. It was a good crowd. It seemed like definitely like super.
It's
fans.
a lot different than the EA crowd, which we'll talk about at the end.
Yeah.
I
Comparison.
think it was when they announced Fallout VR, someone near might just went, "What?"
Damn son!
Drop that mic!
And then we spent a while checking out Dishonored 2, which is kind of their flagship game of the show. Which
I was kind of surprised about that.
I'm surprised how much time they spent showing it off.
I feel like they didn't need to show that much to get people excited about it.
Maybe
Game,
the first one wasn't a crazy hit sales-wise, though. Like I think it was critically acclaimed,
surprised.
but I don't think it was a massive game. So they might be trying to position it to be
Maybe
a little bigger this time. But you can play as the Empress's daughter from Dishonored 1, Emily Caldwin, or you can play as Corvo Atano, the main character from the first game. My impression was you choose the beginning of the game who you're going to play as, which seems like a weird
I'm not a
place to
fan
start.
of that. I like it when I like games where you can
switch back and forth.
forth throughout.
Yeah, I mean, they might go into more detail on that, but it's an interesting idea. I'll probably just play as Corvo again because I played as Corvo in the first game. But
one thing I really liked about their presentation for Dishonored 2 was while they were doing kind of a walkthrough, they had just free cam environment shots, just very slow paced of some of the areas that they were going to do some gameplay in while he introduced the world. And it was a little bit long, but it was a really nice slow way of introducing things versus like a in-engine super flashy explosions. Like it was a very quiet introduction to the world.
yeah,
It looked really good. It reminded me a lot of BioShock Infinite, which I
well,
love those environments.
because BioShock also doesn't have a super realistic art style. Like it's a little bit cartoony.
Oh, yeah.
and Dishonored is a little bit
But
cartoony
it's like
as well.
futuristic retro.
Yeah.
Did you beat Dishonored?
I have not beaten Dishonored yet.
Which
Is why I'm surprised that this one looks so much more appealing to me.
It's the type of game where the original Dishonored, like, it can be 15, 20 hours if you take that long to do it.
Or 30.
But
I was really
you-
close
you-
in. I was
you
around
could
12
play it-
hours in, I think.
You could
so
play
I
it
was
for
pretty
10
close.
hours, and if, I think the story was good, but like if you weren't super hooked by it, you'll have seen everything the game has to show. This looks like they're trying to push it a little farther, so we'll see. Some of the new powers and stuff look ridiculous. Like I didn't even quite understand what they were doing with that mime power where he convinced this guy to go electrocute himself and then telepathically electrocute the other two guys. Like, that was interesting.
Seems like we're crossing some moral boundaries here.
But that game crossed every moral boundary. I mean, come on.
Dave, for that, I'm curious to know how you're going to handle the game.
Yeah.
Like, since you can play as both characters, but you can't play them at the same time, but they have different dialogue. Do you feel you're going to be missing something if you're playing as one character, or how are you going to handle that?
That's the weird part for RPGs is I'll usually be pretty okay with locking down a branch. Like for Witcher 2, I still haven't gone back and played the other branch, and the second chapter of Witcher 2 is completely different depending on which branch you take.
The one thing that's screwing you over is that every street apparently has its own lore, has its own story that you can learn about.
I was laughing because he was describing the environment art. It's like, we're trying to like build the scenes. Like every alleyway has like a rebel that kind of tells a story, and it's just kind of some of the general rules that most environment artists follow. Even small props, you can tell a small story to make it visually interesting. The main problem I have with any game that I play is I can't help but see those stories, and I want to see them all. I want to follow the rabbit trail of like little interesting just prop spots. And they're talking about it at the Bethesda conference. Well, now I have to look.
Now you know they have stories.
Yeah, well, they showed off a good bit of one mission where you have to go kill this overseer guy, and it did look pretty interesting. It was obviously highly scripted what they were doing.
They skipped a lot.
Yeah, they did skip a lot, but it looks like there's a lot you have to learn with the character, and it's not just a hop in and hack through it game. I mean, the first one wasn't really either, but it looks like this one even more is you're gonna really need to learn the character to make use of it. But it is coming out November 11th, 2016.
That actually reminds me of the one thing I think I remember not liking about the first one. Is I think this is becoming a huge trend too in games anyways, is you can go through an entire game and not have all the perks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and like, okay, I'm just talking about Half-Life 2 for a minute. You know how you get new weapons and stuff through your there's no weapon you miss out on. You get every single one, and that weapon is going to be for a specific level, or it's progress. I kind of miss that, and like I remember like in that game, like I want to keep pushing forward, but I hate going, you know what? Dang it, I'm probably missing something. I'm not going to be able to get that other weapon or the crossbow because I'm pushing ahead, but then I don't really know exactly where to find it, and I really don't want to spend 3 hours looking for it to find out, that crossbow's not even that fun. You don't need to use it. So, I mean, like, I think
that's, Doom does really well. You walk into a level, and there'll be a dead guy just laying there, and he's like got this rocket launcher in his hands, and you're like... I don't mind. It's not like I don't mind having certain weapons, like you get used to whatever. Like even in Dark Souls, like you don't get every weapon. You can just choose one weapon and go with the whole thing. But I think for first-person shooter games, it's hard for me to go. Like I hate not knowing I don't have all the perks to try out, but I also don't want to spend 1,000 hours looking for all of them just to find out, they're okay.
And that actually brings me to what I hope they really just get rid of for Dishonored 2. I think it was a real big issue with the first game, and that's the coin counter. At the end of each level, it would tell you how many coins the designers actually put in the entire level, and it would give you like you found 722 out of 1,048. And I'd be like, whoa, load save. Where did I miss a check?
Are you serious? You'd go back to find gold?
Some of the parts where I was trying to upgrade stuff, I did go back, yeah. But I hope they don't show me that. It's like I don't want to know what I missed.
And then they announced the Dishonored 2 Collector's Edition, which comes with a really nice looking replica of Corvo's mask. So I'm assuming this is not a wearable mask.
It looks really small.
It looks like it sits on a stand, but it will come with it comes with the Dishonored Definitive Edition. Do they announce a price? It sounds like
anything if you pre-order it at all.
Oh, if you pre-order any level of the game, right? They give you a copy of Dishonored Definitive Edition.
For a certain amount of time.
So I'm guessing.
I think it's for like a
So I'm guessing if you pay $60,
they just say for a limited time. I think they just said limited time. Yeah, you get Dishonored Definitive, which to be fair goes on sale for it goes on sale for like $10 all the time though. So it's not like it's a cool freebie. But if you're thinking, do I even like Dishonored? You can try out.
Definitive Edition is $10.
I've seen it as low as that.
Really? Okay.
Well, on PC, so I don't know.
20-ish.
Okay.
Maybe.
Either way, you're getting 2 games roughly $30 each, so that's not too bad.
But anything else you guys want to talk about for the conference? I thought this was way better than EA's.
It was super fun to watch.
Yeah,
it was. They were way more. I felt like they were way more connected to the games they were talking about.
Yes, and they were like a little more casual about it. It wasn't like
they were better readers of the prompts too.
Cry about football.
That accurately came out. Let me tell you my story.
You don't know my name.
For me, I think the biggest surprise.
Say my name.
guys have a little moment there.
So I think there was some eye contact there.
I think the biggest surprise, honestly, was the VR, because it's like that. Honestly, that kind of is something that like was probably as unexpected as if they said, "Hey, we're adding co-op to Fallout." Honestly, for me, like, just because I mean, like, just seems like such a modern thing to do, like to try to like just hack it to barely make it work, you know, and it's not to see that Bethesda is actually making it legit. Like,
Giving it full
until I
support.
see it for like firsthand or see like, oh wow, they're actually animating the guns, and you know, like the Pip-Boy, that it's not just gonna be you press a button and it pops up like the regular game and you can just look around, but to actually make it, you know, work specifically for VR, that is like, oh, son of a bitch, I'm gonna have to buy it. I'm gonna have to, because if it's not on PSVR, I'm gonna have to get it. So it's like, oh, they just
Wait,
said,
but Joel, do you own the game on PC?
no, I don't. I was planning to get Fallout 4 down the road when it's cheaper on PC.
It's already
Just
like
try it out.
$22 on PC. It's already cheap.
But I would restart that mother effer for VR, 100%.
Well, you know, I mean, Sony might announce that at their press conference.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, I just doubt. I mean, unless they do some
Sony
kind
needs
of,
to announce.
lower
I
res
mean, they
version or
need
something
to
like that
announce a
make it
bunch
work,
of games that are coming to VR this
Yeah.
fall. So that would be a good. one.
There are a ton of games.
They need to
launched
announce
in
a
the
lot
last
of
couple weeks.
AAA games that are coming to
Yeah.
it this fall. Like Fallout 4 is a big get.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about like.
Yeah.
Look at all these indie games that
Walk the
eventually get
tightrope.
PlayStation Plus.
Well, I mean, that's
VR.
the first big game for PC, I guess, for VR.
Yeah,
It's like that's
the first
VR.
notable
like,
announcement.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
been lots of games that support
Yeah.
it, but nothing as big as Fallout 4. So, thank you everybody for listening to
just
this.
wanna say,
oh yeah, go ahead.
I went to this conference expecting it to be just a bunch of like stuff we already kind of knew.
Yeah, actually, I think we said before we started we didn't have super high hopes.
So them starting off with Quake Champions was like, holy crap! I guess they're gonna announce some stuff we didn't think of, and you know, now announcing Prey, announcing
Yeah.
the PC version of Fallout Shelter, which I thought was a possibility. But for them to expand it to add story, I think they added enough new stuff that didn't leak in rumors.
Yeah, new Fallout story DLC, which a lot of people assumed, but that's a nice confirmation.
It's a very different DLC though. Like that was a new direction for
But
sure.
the fact that Quake didn't even leak
yeah.
before.
A lot of people have been saying like maybe Quake, but I don't think anybody.
But it was
knew anything.
never like on the list of these
Yeah.
are the games that are.
I never
be
even
there.
heard of any whispers
And
of it,
it
honestly.
seems like they really were talking to their audience because for every game they made lots of references that if you weren't into the games you probably wouldn't get, but people in the audience responded to. Like we responded really well to the command prompt stuff at the beginning, and the Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls Online people, the fans in the audience, seem to be
I
really
think,
excited.
yeah, even
so
with
good for them.
Prey, I mean, like I never played the first one, but I'm more intrigued that it's like, oh, here's an interesting new first-person shooter type or different game, very different. You know, it's not just Call of Duty. It's not just only a shooter. It could be very unique, kind of like honestly, is it Deus Ex? Or
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex.
Like I really enjoyed Human. I just like that kind of game because it's very, very different. You know, it's first person shooter, but it's got a lot more to it. So I'm excited for any kind of game.
The other
like
thing
that.
I was surprised about was Elder Scrolls looked better than I thought it was going to look.
Elder Scrolls Online or the
No,
special
the
edition?
special edition.
Yeah, it looks like
It looks cool.
because all right, so everybody's seen the super awesome screenshots of how you can make it look with mods, and there are
Right.
mods that look better than what they showed off for the special edition. But this will probably be playable. I'm guessing 30 FPS, and
Hopefully,
it
yeah.
looks really good. It looks better than you could make the game look. I think on it. Well, actually, I'll find out soon. I'm gonna do it on the Potato Masher. I don't think you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
make the
yeah,
game
yeah.
look that good with mods and run it on a console right now.
Because the
on
performance
console.
curve is too much for mods.
Right, because none of the mods, nobody
But hopefully we'll find
optimizes
out
the
a few
mods.
more-
They're like, here's ultimate 8K skyboxes. I don't care about your performance.
Yeah. Oh.
Hopefully we'll even find out some more about the game too. Like there might be
Yeah.
other minor changes because even like
It would be cool if it included the DLC.
yeah.
Oh, I'm assuming
I'm
it
guessing.
has
Yeah,
to.
I'm
It
guessing
has
it's gonna
to.
have everything too.
Yeah.
I mean,
And on a related note, Bethesda just announced via their Twitter account that if you own Skyrim and all of its DLC or the special edition on Steam, you get a free upgrade to the special edition on October 28th.
October 28th. So that's when it comes out. Is October 28th?
Yeah, a free upgrade.
Well, guess like I gotta buy a little more DLC real quick.
Yeah, so summer Steam sale, guys, just gobble up all that DLC.
Already have it.
gobble 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 gobble.
Yeah, free upgrade.
That's awesome. That is a super pro consumer
Because
move.
that's actually, I think, okay, so like Jeremiah was saying, Bethesda can obviously optimize better than mods could, but I was going to say, for a lot of PC users, it's going to be hard to get excited when the most popular Skyrim mods are already the graphics mods. Like hundreds of thousands of people are running them.
And the Naked Elf mods. Let's not discount those.
I hope that's not hundreds of thousands, but
Millions. It's millions.
I mean, the graphics mods are already super popular, so for them to kind of like recognize, like, hey, for PC users, we got to kind of like make this like a real good incentive to use our
Right.
version. That's
Yeah.
really cool. That's awesome.
That's big of them. That's cool. So I'm curious to hear what it's going to cost for people who don't have the definitive edition. Because I guess $60 isn't unreasonable. I mean, it's
For a console, no.
for the console version.
I would say
that's
I would
not
say
that
$40. That's not bad.
$40 I think would be a shoe-in for a lot of people. I think 60 is still reasonable though.
I'm gonna bet
60
on
is too
40.
high, I think.
You think so?
$40 I think would
It's
be.
the other thing is they can charge 60 and people
No,
will
no,
pay
yeah,
it.
you know, no,
they
I'm
charge
talking
like
like-
$30
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Far Harbor. How much
How
was
much
it?
did they charge?
25.
How much did they
25.
charge for Dishonored when they put it on the PS4? It wasn't a $60 game.
It wasn't. I don't remember
Yeah.
now.
My guess is $39.99.
So maybe it will be cheaper, but I think that whichever the price is, it's going to sell. like
Yeah,
crazy.
definitely. Especially now that it includes mods and stuff like that.
I was right. Someone freeze framed that console. Bethesda Softworks. No, this is my news now.
Don't block the mic.
Wolfenstein: The New Colossus teased via the terminal.
Ooh.
So-
okay. What else does it say in there?
I think other than that, it's just New Colossus, Old Blood.
Okay,
New
Wolfenstein
Order,
3D, New Order, Old Blood, New Class. Ah.
then Doom 3, Doom 4, Bethnet. Lots of just fun little Easter eggs.
Anything about Half-Life 3 in there?
Joel says his HL3.exe, and then it says /release.
That would be awesome.
It's blinking.
That'd be an awesome joke to throw in at the PC Gamer show.
don't tease it.
Joe's like, guys,
Don't even
this
fake it.
isn't a joke anymore.
My wish tomorrow is someone to walk out on stage with the HL3
Dude, that is my
shirt.
wish every day.
But the no game.
I've had legitimate dreams about Half-Life 3 being released. Don't tease me.
So yeah, this conference was way better than EA.
Yeah, way better than EA.
Oh,
and so the conference I'm personally most excited for is Microsoft tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I feel like Microsoft, I mean, who knows? They could totally
Yeah.
flub the ball.
It would just be
But
fun to see them just pull out something awesome.
They are positioned to make a lot of crazy announcements like
They need to,
your
I
PC is now an Xbox
Yeah.
and
I could see it
the
happen.
slim model is $200. We took out the DVR, no one used it.
Yeah,
And
like they cross play, it works together,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Or like run, like you could. I think it'd be awesome. You play your PC games and it streams to the Xbox if you want to. Like that would be awesome too. So
Other than the
because I think because if they announce you can play all Xbox games on the PC, that's great. Well, who the hell is buying an Xbox anymore? I
They
think
don't-
it's not as much.
they don't care. They're
But I
selling
think-
a platform.
But if
They
you
don't
can
care
sell
about the
both,
internet.
that's better.
It is,
like,
yeah.
like they're selling hardware. That's better than only selling software. So I think if they announce same like a Steam Link, but it's like your Xbox, you can use it on both.
Well,
Like,
there are rumors of
That would be
little streaming
amazing.
sticks, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But that's all in Microsoft's conference tomorrow. This is the recap of Bethesda's conference. So thank you everybody for coming out to it, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow after Microsoft. Later.